I didn't get the sense that Fiesta Mall was even a significant option, even when it was the flavor du jour. That site's been available since the Morello Group took over and they brought Javier Gutierrez in, and that I've never sensed more than a lukewarm response to that potential site. Location is one of those. It's still a significant distance. I mean, it's people have said, oh, it's as bad as Glendale. Well, no, it's not, because it sits much closer to their season ticket base and the corporate base of the city and the wealth base of the city. So I don't think it's a direct comparison there. I don't think that's a fair comparison. That said, it's like 11 miles from where the TED was supposed to be. And having driven that like 202, 101 interchange down to the 60 and knowing what an absolute mess that is, it could get even worse with Coyotes traffic coming down it. I don't, and then when you look at the site itself, it's an area really in need of urban renewal, but it doesn't have a lot of the things to offer that Tempe might, or even being along the Salt River, close to Tempe, close to Scottsdale might offer. So I just don't think it's an as attractive a site. I don't get the sense that the Coyotes are really pursuing that very strongly. However, I highlight in the story one that's right at the 202 and Alma School Road. It's owned by Johnson Materials LLC. It's basically a rock quarry. So there's a certain amount of prep that you have to do. I guess you don't have to dig very much since you already have a giant hole in the ground for your foundation, but there's some prep to do for that land. But I think that one is under serious consideration. There could be other sites in Mesa as well, but that one is privately owned by one party, making a purchase of the land a lot easier than it would be if multiple parties own the land. And yeah, thanks for putting up the map, Leah. I think this one, I think people have been aware of this one for a little while, but I do get the sense that this one is near the top of the list. We'll see how it plays out with further negotiations, but I think this is one that the Coyotes are seriously considering.
Yeah, this one, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see it's kind of along the 202. It's just a little bit west of the 101 east. I literally just pictured a map in my head and was like, that's west. By the way, I just got back from my trip this morning, so that's my clearing. I've been up since 1 a.m. Arizona time. But yeah, definitely an interesting one. There's a big spot right there, and it's not a bad site by any means, like at all. It's very interesting.
When you think about where they were trying to go in Tempe, and then look at this site, I mean, it's a 5-minute drive down the freeway, guys. It's right there. Sloan Park is just to the west of it, where the Cubs play. There's a Riverview development, a mall there as well. Tempe Marketplace is just to the west. This is fine. This is actually a really good location. If they end up here, it's basically the same field to me as the TED would have been. You're a couple miles, obviously, farther away from Mill Avenue and downtown Tempe, but you're really close to that site still. So this one makes a lot of sense to me if they end up choosing this one.